All right, we're joined by Texas Tech head coach Jerry Glasco, players Lauren Allred, NiJaree Canaday, Maya Davis, and Demi Howard. Please make sure to silence your cell phones, give your name and media affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. No recording in the press conference with video with your cell phone. If you're on the Zoom and you want to ask a question, use the raise hand function. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Glasco, go to players or questions just for players, dismiss players, and then go back to questions just for Coach Glasco. So if you have an opening statement, feel free.
I guess first thing, tip of the hat to Oklahoma. As everybody in this room knows, what they've done's, historic, legendary, something, we're going to be. When I was a kid, we grew up talking about John Wooden and UCLA basketball, and I still think of John Wooden and UCLA basketball when I think of college basketball, and that's what Patty Gassol's done and what Oklahoma's done. It's great champions, and just want to be sure that I compliment them and what an honor it is to get to play them in the last game of the winners bracket to get to the finals. Just a privilege and the opportunity for my kids to play against a team that well coached, that talented, and just what Oklahoma is. It is a great opportunity, great privilege to be on the field with them. To be on the field with a coaching staff like that is an honor, and I just want to be sure that I give them every bit of the credit I can, and I still can't give them enough. They deserve more than I can. As far as the game, I thought it was a great game. I thought NiJaree threw a gem of a game, and I thought we did really well. It kind of haunts me. We left a runner twice at third, and that's with one out. And that, as an offensive coach, I thought, man, this game, we're not winning this game 2-0 because you can't make that. When that happens, you know that the game will pay you back at some point. So I really thought in my head, I kept thinking they're going to tie it 2-2 at some point. I just felt that way, and I wish we could have put one or two more runs up there and give NiJaree just a little bit more leeway. And then you go to that top of the seventh, and you get to the 9-hole. I think a 1-ball, 2-strike count, and she hit it out and tied it up 2-2. And it didn't surprise me at all. And I almost, like in my gut, you just feel that kind of thing happening when it happens. And so I was already mentally prepared. We come in, I think I said to the kids, we didn't want it to be easy. We don't want it to be easy. It's Oklahoma. You knew it wasn't going to be easy. Now, let's go to work right here, and let's win this right here in the bottom of the seventh. And I think it's very similar to me. The game felt like Oklahoma last year when I was at Louisiana. We had them 4-2, I believe. They tied it 4-4 in the bottom of the seventh. We were the visiting team. And then we were able to come back, I think, and win it in the eighth inning, immediately respond. I think that's the thing I was most proud tonight of my kids. I just told the girls walking over here, we're lucky that they tied it 2-2. It made us better. It gave us that opportunity to win the game in a different way than we've won a game the whole tournament. And it forced us to grow up a little bit more, mature a little bit more, learn a little bit more about ourselves, and learn that we can come through like that under pressure in that bottom of seven. So as far as a coaching standpoint, I was proud they tied it 2-2, although I'd be lying if I said I didn't want 1-2-0, but it didn't surprise me. And then I thought NiJaree was phenomenal. Our defense has just been another night with no errors. And when you've got freshmen on the infield at third and short, I just think that's phenomenal that we just keep putting up errorless games. So I want to be sure I tip my hat to my defensive coach, Hunter Veach. He's amazing. He's absolutely an amazing young coach. I had him last year at Louisiana. He had what he's done with the defense this year. If you go back to our fielding percentage after 20 games, it's probably like 952, 953. And then you get into Big 12 conference play, and he goes at 985 the rest of the year. And he did the exact same thing last year at Louisiana. It's not an accident. He took us last year, the first 15 games were 950, 955, and then we just became a really good defensive club down the stretch the same way. And then I want to give credit to Tara on her pitch calling with NiJaree. I think the way they've worked together, not just today, but all year, amazing. And in a situation where there's a lot of pressure, when you've got a talented, well-known national player of the year type player. And and she's got to go through changes with the coaching staff halfway through her college career. She's been amazing to work with. She's accepted everything. So I want to give both those coaches, defense and pitching, a lot of credit in our success this week and this year. My offense, really good. Demi, that was huge to get us going and get that hit. And I think we've been playing for Demi and Alexa. I think that's what I've been using as to motivate the team is, play for the two seniors, extend their career, particularly get Demi and Alexa to the World Series. The younger kids, the juniors and sophomores and freshmen, they've got a chance to do it again next year. But the seniors, this is our chance, and that's been our motto all year: is our chance at forever, and we can leave a legacy at Texas Tech that will be remembered forever in the minds of the people that are able to watch this ball club. And I think that we've done that. I think our team they've left a legacy that will be remembered forever among sports fans that have been able to watch us this year.
Okay, we'll start questions for players. Front row right. Blue.
Ryan Campos, CBS Lubbock. Lauren, walk us through that at bat. Then obviously the moment facing a former teammate in Sam. Just walk us through the at bat and then that moment, and then Maya, sliding into home to win it.
Sam's a great pitcher, so going against her, I knew it wasn't going to be easy, especially with the history that we have playing with each other. And then going up to my bat, Coach Hunter always says doing something really hard, really well is really fun. So what it was just reminded me to have fun and just go up there with confidence and trust in all the preparation and training that I had. And I knew that Maya Davis, who's probably one of the fastest players in the country, was going to make something happen as long as I got the ball in play.
Okay, we go front row left.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Demi, you're one of the few returners on this Tech squad and a team that was in the first four out in last tournament. And you played a big piece in tonight. What have the last 13 months been leading up to tonight?
I think at first I didn't really know what to think of it. I didn't really know how I would fit in or do anything, but when I was talking to Coach Glasco when he first got hired, he was just like, let's do it. And then I just said, okay. And I decided to hop on his wagon, and we've been trucking it ever since. So.
Okay, we go second row right. Jake.
Yeah, NiJaree and Lauren, there have been a lot of great teams and great players that haven't been able to beat that team in this setting. What is it about you guys that gave you the ability mentally to come back and beat them at the end of the game?
Yeah, I feel like part of it is that we just play for each other, but also, honestly, I feel like a lot of people doubted us, and a lot of people didn't think we would get to this point. So I think we just didn't have any pressure on us. We just wanted to go out, play softball, and play our game.
I agree with that. We did something in the beginning of the season in the fall where we chose a word that we wanted to play by, and one of the big words that was chosen was selfless. So I think we've been playing selfless and be playing for each other, and that's just helped us get through all the tough games.
James Halo, Oklahoma Sports Radio. NiJaree, it looks like you threw really hard, but your changeup today was incredible. Talk about that. Was that really the pitch for you that got you through that and everything?
Yeah, I feel like it was decent. Obviously, the last one wasn't as planned, but yeah, I feel like just being able to keep hitters off balance and throw something low in the zone really helps.
Okay, we go second row left here.
Todd Kaplan, the Daily Toreador, Maya and Lauren, could you guys kind of reflect a little bit on the decision to follow Glasgow and then how this has all panned out for y'all?
I knew automatically when Coach Glasgow was leaving that I was going with him, and just simply the fact I trust him and I knew he was going to do something big.
I have to agree with that too, because getting recruited out of high school, there wasn't as much interest as some other players would have. But Coach Glasgow always had faith in me, and I knew that he helped me get to the position I was going to be in, and I wanted to stay by him no matter what.
Okay, we go front row right.
Ryan Campos, CBS Lubbock. Demi, you've been with this team through the ups and downs the last 4 years. You've stuck through it. What is this moment? What does this journey mean to you with the group that you have, knowing all well, hey, you stuck it out and you're reaping your reward of, not leaving and staying with this group?
I wouldn't have it any other way. I seriously, wouldn't change anything. Obviously, there's been a lot of ups and downs in my career, but this feeling, the feeling tonight when we walked it off, it was everything. So, wouldn't change it for the world.
Okay, we go front row left. Jenny.
Jenny Carlson from the Oklahoman. Demi, I'm hoping you can answer this, and also Lauren. Those final moments put us in the arena. I mean, we obviously watched you guys in it, but what did it sound like? What did it feel like? You were in the dugout, Demi. You were obviously on the field, Lauren. Put us in that moment for you two.
Honestly, I couldn't even hear the arena. I think we had just put all our faith in Lauren or any other teammate who went up to that plate. I knew one of our teammates was going to get it done and we were going to win that game. So I think, a lot of people were against us in that arena, but there was a lot of people with us and we wanted to win that game. So I think that just what helped us.
I truthfully didn't hear anything at all either. Whenever it happened, I was just so worried and caught up in the moment and just focusing on Maya tacking up and seeing if she was going to slide in safe that I didn't hear any of the crowd or anything else happening.
All right, that'll wrap things up for players. Players are dismissed. Thank you.
Okay.
Questions for Coach Glasgow? Okay. Go front row left to James.
Coach Glasgow, when you put this team together at the beginning of the year, and then you get Canaday to come in, at that point, did you feel like you had this kind of team?
Yeah, I did. I thought when she came to campus, when NiJaree come to campus, I thought I had a team that could go to the World Series. And I had to believe that. Or maybe I psyched myself into believing it, but I felt it was imperative that, I believed in the product that I was trying to sell her. But I think one of the reasons that, I think one of the reasons that I was able to end up with NiJaree, I kept telling her, things like how good a coach Alistair was. Coach, when you get here, you're going to find out Coach Alistair's a lot smarter coach than I am. She's a brilliant coach. And I told her, even on the visit, if you go back to Stanford, I don't have any problem losing this recruiting battle. If you choose to go back to Stanford, that would be a good decision, a really smart decision. But I didn't want to lose to anybody else. And I think I gained her trust to some degree because of the lineup. I told her, I said, we got a lot of work to do. We won't be ready to go to the World Series when the season starts. But this team will score 360 runs. We will give you the run production, and by the end of the year, we'll be tough enough to go to the World Series. We're good enough on paper, but we're not going to be mentally tough enough till the end of the season. But if you'll lead and you buy in your leadership, we will be good enough by the end of the season. And I did believe that. But it took a lot of work, and we weren't real good at the beginning of the season. If you go back and you watch our games, we just lost. We lost. We were 0-0 with Mississippi State, and we lost. We were 1-1 with Texas, and we lost late in the game. And that's the difference between then and now, is we know how to finish a game, and we're mentally tough enough to finish a game. So, yeah, I believe this team could have the potential to get where we're at.
Okay, front row right.
Ryan Campos, CBS Lubbock. Coach, you guys now 34-1 when you guys score first. Is that a mentality that you guys try to attack early and then let NiJaree do her thing? Hopefully you can tack on a run or two. What's the process for you guys, trying to get to an early lead and then go from there?
I don't want to be I take one of the things we talk about constantly is being the best come from behind team in America. We get behind, let's be excited about it. Because it's an opportunity to practice being behind and coming from behind. And I take great pride in that. But I think it's a product of when we do score first, NiJaree's a warrior, And I think if you look at that record, it's probably a lot of those games are when she's pitching. And if you give her a lead, I think she's hard to overcome. And it definitely, if we can get that lead, especially when we get the lead in the first inning, it's a ridiculous record. I think anytime you get a lead, it relaxes our ball team. And one of the things we had trouble early in the year was we just tried too hard we tried too hard for NiJaree. We tried too hard. Every player was going to home plate trying for themselves. And then once I figured that out, and I just started relentlessly preaching about play for Demi, play for Alexa, play for a senior, be motivated to play for another person. Don't play for yourself. It's not about whether you're 3 for 3. we don't care if we go 0 for 3 as long as our teammates bat 450 or 500. So once they understood that concept and they bought into it and felt it working, that's when we become a lot more dangerous team. But definitely getting the lead just helps everybody relax.
Okay, we go front row left, Brady.
Brady Vernon, Sophomore America. Just knowing Maya's speed, were you just going to send her on just about anything up in the air?
Yeah, mine's fast. And, you know, she thought it was too shallow to tag. If you watch that, she started to go down the line. She thought it was too shallow, and I go, no, tag. And you know, I stand when, because we're thinking ground ball go, fly ball tag, and I always tell the player to think ground ball. I'll be waiting for you at the front of the circle, and I'll remind you if it's a fly ball. So I'm up the line a few steps. I couldn't believe it when she started to not take tag. And, you know, she's so quick when I said, no, tag. She actually, I think, left a little bit late, I think, if you watch the film. I'm guessing she left a little late, but she's just so quick. I knew she'd make it. And a lot of times the outfielders, they think it's that shallow. They don't expect her to go. We did that earlier. They'll just, I think it was at Florida State. I think the left fielder never dreamed she was going to go on that ball, and then she's gone. And so it's a very special player, very special talent. And I think she was 0 for 8 till that last at bat. And it was a matter of, I tried to make her mad earlier. I pinch hit for her, and I was trying to make her mad. She didn't say a word. She just, you know, didn't say one word, but I know it bothered her. And I was trying to, like, make her mad to get that, it's better be mad than feel sorry for yourself. And then at the last inning when she come up, that was a perfect situation for her because she just wanted to win for her team. It wasn't about whether she was 0 for 8 or 0 for 80 or 7 for 8. She had to get on base for her team, and that's when she's her very best and her most dangerous.
Okay, we go second row left.
Daniel Honrock, OU Daily. Coach, just take me through Sam Landry at the end of the game. You're embracing with her. What exactly was said in that moment to her?
At the end, I love you. You know, like I'm sorry. You know, I wish her career could end. I hated that we had to play today. I just hated it. I would have rather her finished her career against anybody besides me. And I would have rather played anybody than her to go to the championship. But we don't control that. And I was like, I love you. You were fantastic tonight. You were great. I've enjoyed watching her all year. And just mainly I love you. So.
Okay, front row left.
Jerry, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. I know this literally just happened 10 minutes ago, but I'm wondering as you think about what you just witnessed your team do and the moments that you experienced, do you think there are a few things that'll stand out in your mind's eye in another year or 10 years when you think about tonight?
Absolutely. I think that it'll take us till summer to digest everything about this. And I think it's a type of experience that, you know, a year from now you'll become aware of something that you didn't realize, you know. It's just been a really magical season, the way everything has unfolded and the way we've improved down the stretch. And there's no doubt that it'll, as you reflect on it and go back in the future months, and I think probably even for a year or so, things will occur to you that never ever occurred to you before. And, you know, when the night of the drawing, Tara said, Dad, if we get the 12 seed, you know we're going to the World Series, and I bet you we get the 12 seed. And sure enough, it comes up on TV, and she said, I told you, we're going to the World Series. We got the 12 seed, which was Jerry Ann's number. And we go to Arizona, and we check in the room, and I go to my room, and I realize I'm in room 112. and it's a huge hotel. Things like that happen. I feel like, you know, she's been with us on this journey. And you know, tonight, I thought to myself, like, if Sam goes and I don't go, it's still good, right? And Jerry Ann would have been thrilled with Sam going. And I'm sure she's thrilled with me going. Same way now when I play Coach White, you know. I think if Jerry Ann could talk to you, she'd be just as happy if Coach White won his national championship as her dad, because she loved Coach White. So we're going to have, it just things happen like that. And, you know, it's going to take me a while to digest and know what I really think, probably.
All right, we have time for two more. Second row right, Jake.
You were talking about Oklahoma's UCLA basketball and Patty is John Wood. And what does it say about NiJaree, about your team, that you were the ones to finally take out Oklahoma here in Oklahoma City?
I think it just speaks volumes, not only about what a great pitcher NiJaree Canaday is. She's obviously a great pitcher, but her leadership here has been unbelievable. And I can remember one of the things I kept telling her, like, hey, if you come to Texas Tech and you take us to the World Series, your market value as advertisements and your shelf life will be 7-8 times more than if you went to a blue blood like a UCLA or an Alabama or Tennessee or Oklahoma. You know, if you come to here and you take this team to the World Series, your market value, if you're interested in NIL and market value, there's no comparison. And her agent totally bought in with that. Like, he kept saying, you're right, Coach, you're right. NiJaree, Coach is right about that. And she embraced that. You know, like, that was one of the things I think she was really attracted to, like, not just taking the easy road. And it shows every day, the way she practices and the way she competes in practice, especially in batting practice and hitting. It's infectious to the other players on the team and the roster.
Okay, that'll wrap things up. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yes, and tomorrow at noon, Texas will talk. At 12:30, Texas Tech will talk for the press conference tomorrow.